So this is my second slow stitch project for March, which is a slow stitched card topper, and I thought it would be fun in my editing to use a filter for the first part so that you can maybe try and guess what the colours are that I'm using. And I've started off using some base fabric, which is a cotton batting, a quilt batting, and also some lace. And I'm using a card base that's A5. Now I've actually got quite a few of these, so I'll probably be adding them as slow stitch kits to the shop, but this is basically the size that I'm using. It's a nice wide piece of net, of lace rather, with some cotton batting underneath it, and that's just my base layer for slow stitching on top. I've done a few stitches just to hold that lace on top of the batting, and just done a row, and I think you can probably see there's a little bit of a twinkle there in the stitching that I've used. Now I've stitched the lace onto the top and then picked out some other different colours and fabrics that I'm going to use, and these will all be in the kits that I'm going to put in the shop. And I've gone for lots of different textures and a few different little bits like rick-rack and sort of a tape type thing to put on top as well. So I sewed the first piece on and just did stitches up and down, so I wanted them to be running the different way to the first stitches that I used. And then I picked out some lovely sort of woolly fabric to go on top, and also some cotton fabric, very thick sort of almost denim-y type cotton fabric to go on top, and I wanted to stitch those around, so I used a blanket stitch. You can't really see it so well here because the filter that I'm using, but the colours go really nicely together, so I used a blanket stitch to add the woolly fabric. And then I thought, with this cotton fabric, because it was so thick, wouldn't it look great if it had a few holes in it? So I cut a few holes in it, and I thought that looked really cool, just because I wanted to make sure you could see the blanket stitch, make it pop underneath the fabric, because sometimes when we do our slow stitching we sort of cover some of the details, and sometimes it's nice to have them peeking out underneath. So again, I used some metallic thread. Have you guessed what the colour is yet? I'd be interested to know in the comments if you got it right. So I stitched that around, again using just a quick stitch all the way around the outside, and used a stitch just to cover those little holes as well, just to make sure that they were well stuck down. And then I got the little sort of embellishment pieces out, so the rick-rack and the little tape that I wanted to put down, and I had to use some glue stick just to stick those in place so that I could sew on top, and then just did a straight stitch to add those in, and then found a couple of little buttons that coordinated really nicely. So just a reminder, if you're enjoying the video, to give me a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. Thank you. So did you guess? So this is my colour palette, and I went with a lovely golden sunflower yellow for some of the thread, and I absolutely love this. The gold's in it. I absolutely love the look of it. So this is my slow stitch topper, the second project that I've done for March. I hope you've enjoyed seeing it, and if you have, please give me a thumbs up. If you do want to do a similar project and you're interested in these materials, then I'll have them in my Etsy shop. Thanks very much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care. Bye.